What's up, guys? It's only been about a week since the iPhone X was announced, and I can tell this is not going to be an easy month while we wait for this device. So to hold you over, here are 20 facts you didn't know about the iPhone X. I don't guarantee you don't know all of them, but you will learn a thing or two about these devices, including the iPhone 8. So starting with the batteries. Believe it or not, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus do have smaller batteries. The iPhone 8 by 99 milliamps and the 8 Plus by 225. It's yet to be fully confirmed, but if this is the case, that is quite disappointing. Although the Apple A11 efficiency may well make up for this, why remove more battery life unless it's absolutely necessary for the wireless charging? And I actually suspected this could be the case. In early benchmarks, it's been revealed that the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are faster than the iPhone X by a slight margin. Now, why is this? Because they do have less pixels to push. Their displays aren't as dense pixel-wise. Now, the power button on the iPhone X isn't really a power button anymore. You activate Siri by holding it. So how do you turn the iPhone X off? You hold the power button and volume down simultaneously for a few seconds until the power down menu appears. And if you really think about it, slide to unlock was killed in iOS 10, and Apple just brought it back with iOS 11 on the iPhone X with a swipe up. This made my test a little difficult when none of the devices wanted to cooperate. Now, that might get a little bit easier with the iPhone X by sliding up, I don't know. But in any case, slide to unlock is back. And the iPhone X upon release will be running iOS 11.1 already. A leaked Geekbench actually leaked the fact that Apple is testing this firmware, which they usually do months in advance to release, so this isn't really a surprise, but good to know Apple is optimizing it. And something not many people realize, this year's lineup is the cleanest looking iPhone series ever. There is absolutely no text, no markings other than the word iPhone on the back, and it looks absolutely fantastic, super clean. So here's a cool throwback fact. This year's iPhone lineup, the 8, 10, and 8 Plus, are 150 times faster than the original iPhone. In the last year's keynotes for the iPhone 7, Apple said it was 120 times faster. This year, the iPhone 8 is 25% faster than last year's model, making this 150 times faster than the original. And here's a mind-blowing difference. The original iPhone's display has come a long way in just 10 years. You can fit it 15 times resolution-wise into the iPhone X. Now, that's not to say there aren't other differences. I mean, LCD versus organic LED is a huge difference, but just the resolution alone, that's crazy. And in an interview with an Apple engineer, it was revealed that Apple has been working on the A11 Bionic chip for 3 years when the A8 was released. They're always working 3 years in advance. And something I didn't see until someone pointed out to me, the iPhone X's display literally folds in under itself. Being an organic LED display can do this, but why? To achieve a true edge-to-edge experience. This way, Apple can hide the display controller underneath the display instead of on the edge, as most other bezel-less smartphones do. They all have a chin of some sort because that's where the display controller goes. And the new wallpapers exclusive to the iPhone X shown off on the keynote and in the advertisements, this is actually a series of new wallpapers that will be 3D Touch interactable or otherwise live wallpapers exclusively for the iPhone X, something Apple did not tell us. And I was actually very curious about the pricing history of the iPhone, so I went back and I made a chart with inflation adjusted the price of the base model iPhones and the top end models. And turns out most iPhones have stayed the same relatively. They started going down in price for the top tier before the iPhone X, that is. And the actual raw parts cost to build an iPhone X is $412. In comparison to the S8, that's a little more expensive, but that doesn't take into account the marketing, software, development, research, all of that stuff. And believe it or not, this year's iPhone 8 and 8 Plus will be the heaviest iPhones ever made. As the phones are growing larger, so is their weight. This chart created by Redditor gives us that perspective. The iPhone X, though, is pretty light at 174 grams. And just like the weight is growing, so is the thickness. Apple is turning around their trend where they try to make every iPhone thinner than the one that came before it. So this year's iPhones are actually growing in thickness. The iPhone 6 was the ultimate thin phone for Apple. Ever since then, it's been growing. Now, if you're on T-Mobile, you might have heard about their new 600 megahertz spectrum rollout of the signal. It can actually penetrate buildings better than any other signal before it. Dense populated areas, it's supposed to be better for that. Unfortunately, the new iPhones will not be supporting this yet. And in some emails with Craig from Apple, he revealed some key Face ID details. So the timeout for Face ID is 48 hours. Currently, it's 8 on Touch ID. That's how much more secure Face ID is, I guess. It was also revealed that the 3 facial features Face ID requires to work properly. So if you're obstructing any of these, Face ID will not work, and that's eyes, nose, and mouth. And so those are the 3 key points Face ID needs to work with your face on. And it was also revealed that Face ID will work through sunglasses. So if you're worried about having to take your sunglasses off every single time to unlock your face, no worries. Face ID is able to penetrate the lenses on most sunglasses to scan your eyes. Now, if you were excited to get an iPhone 10 in the next 2 months, relatively so, let me shatter those expectations for you. This is going to be near impossible. It's not expected to be fully in stock and available to meet demand until mid-2018. That's just crazy. And as a bonus, I'd like to reiterate, this thing is not waterproof. It is still water resistant at the same rating as the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, which weren't waterproof either. I mean, you can take it and dunk it in water real quick, but you don't want to keep it there for long. It certainly doesn't have the same rating as the Galaxy S8. And that's 20, guys. I'd like to recommend TLD today's video. I actually use a lot of the clips from his awesome video in this one. So do click the link down below in the description and check out his full hands-on video with the iPhone 10. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about the iPhone 10 or 8 and 8 Plus that you didn't know already. Peace.